This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal, and today is Wednesday, September 18th, 2019. And the title of this rant is, California needs to lead the nation in pollution protections. So just today, apparently, and maybe tomorrow, this administration, the purveyor of evil, because that's what this is evil, wants to rescind the Clean Power Plan of the Obama administration and rescind California's ability to set its own standards for car emissions. So if we go back 50 years, California was pretty unique in terms of the high pollution that was going on. In fact, do you remember the joke from Johnny Carson when he was playing Karnak, and he'd give the answer, and Ed McMahon would have the little shtick and open up the letter, and Johnny Carson said, UCLA, as in the University of California at Los Angeles, and everyone laughed and wondered what it was, and Ed McMahon ripped up the paper, opened it up from the Price Waterhouse, where it was sealed, hermetically sealed, and said, oh, what happens when the smog is lifted from Los Angeles? Ha ha, UCLA. So this goes back years and years. There was lead in gasoline then. There was no catalytic converters. California got a waiver from the Environmental Protection Agency that said that they could set their own standards in terms of car emissions, and that's what they have done ever since. And the Clean Power Plan basically allowed them to continue to do that. But this president has no respect for any of that and wants to rescind. He wants to take us backwards. He wants to take away California's ability to set standards. Now, what had happened is the Environmental Protection Agency basically said, we're going to cut back the emission standards. And California said, oh, no. We have a waiver. We have a waiver from the Environmental Protection Agency, from the Clean Water Act, I believe, whatever, from the early 1970s that says we can set our own standards. And that's what they've been doing. And now this administration wants to take that away. Now, let's just go into a little bit. 2/3 of Americans feel that any state should have its right to, it is entitled to set its own standards. Now, California has been setting that standard. 13 states have gone along with it. The District of Columbia has gone along with it. And Canada has gone along with it. And also Ford, Volkswagen, BMW, and there's one other company that I can't think of right now, Honda, have all gone along with it and said, hey, we realize we are living in a big world, and we just can't have one manufacturing process for cars being built in the United States because this administration has set things back, and we know that that will only be temporary, that after this guy gets out of here, they'll come back. We don't want to do that. We are building and manufacturing cars on a world stage, and we want to be, and we know that every other country in the world is now having higher standards in terms of emissions. We also know, again, that cars and trucks cause the greatest amount of greenhouse gases. And this is nothing new. So, and here's the thing that really gets me, is this, America has always moved forward. They have always progressed. The government has always pushed industry to progress. So the government has pushed for for gas emissions for a long, long time. The car manufacturers have gone along begrudgingly, but they have gone along, and guess what? They have made the innovations that are necessary to meet these types of standards. We need to continue that. This administration is taking us backwards. This administration wants to increase the amount of pollution that there is out there. We should be striving for a more perfect union and having the least amount of pollution out there as possible. So it goes back to an old saying in terms of political jokes. And the joke is, Politics is like driving. If you want to go forward, you put it in D. If you want to go backwards, you put it in R. We need to stop this administration from telling California what they need to do in terms of their pollution protections are, because California is trying to protect the whole nation, and this administration is taking us backwards.